friends, and welcome back to Beloved Reviews. If you're new here on this channel, I share with you delightful, family-friendly, and faith-based movies and television shows. Welcome back, y'all. How y'all doing? How y'all doing today? I'm so excited to be getting into this, what we're going to be talking about today, but y'all know how we gotta open up, all right? Y'all let me know in the comments how y'all doing, how y'all feeling, what are you up to, what are you streaming, watching, are you at the theaters, what are you expecting, okay? Anticipating what movies, what TV shows, y'all let me know all of that good stuff in the comment section below. As for me, excited, over the moon, excited to be hanging out with you all today and getting into our spring into love. This is the first installment for Hallmark Plus, okay, for 2026. I'm so excited about this. And I'm so excited to be up on it this soon. Usually it'd be taking me a minute to get around to certain films, but I put some things aside so we can talk about this first. But we're going to go ahead and get started with our special feature today, which is titled Two for Tea. And you can actually find this film streaming right now on Hallmark Plus. But first, let me tell y'all what this film is about. T is a pottery artist and teacher at a local community center that is facing potential closure due to budget cuts. Her life takes a new direction when she meets Will, a single father and the center's new handyman. Now, friends, I have to say, Hallmark, I'm Hallmark. Now, Hallmark, I am excited that we are getting some diversity in y'all films, okay? I do enjoy pretty much everything that y'all be premiering, on the app and all of that good stuff. But it is nice. It's refreshing when we get some characters that are a little bit diverse than what we're typically used to seeing. Like here, T is Chinese American. I thought that was very, very interesting because, like I said, we don't get a lot of it all the time. And to see like that culture is implemented in this film, I was like, okay, we learning something new. We get to hear some Chinese being spoken in this film by T's mama here. But let's go ahead and get into this. Here we meet T. Now T is a single artist here doing her pottery thing, and she's going places. She owns her own little shop here in town, so she's very independent. She is let me see, I was gonna say overachiever, but I won't necessarily call it that. I would just say that she is a dreamer. She is about her business. I love her cousin. Her cousin, like the relationship here is super, super cool. It just kind of reminds me of like growing up, when you have your different cousins and different family members hanging out, and everybody sometimes have a favorite cousin that you can kind of connect with on a total different level where it almost seem like your siblings. And so that was kind of brought back to me as I watch how T and her cousin move here. I love like I said, their relationship, their friendship, and how he was so supportive of her. He works in a shop with her. He always has her back. And you can tell that he knows her so well that when she is going through certain things, like when she's a little bit hesitant or skeptical about certain things, different moves, like he gets her. And it's so nice when you have someone in your life that gets you, whether they're a friend, co-worker, or, family member / friend. That's always just a heartwarming thing to me when you have somebody, somebody that truly understands you, that no words are needed and they totally know what's up, and they also have your back. And so many different moments in this film that T cousin does have her back. But like I said, she is single, and it's not like she's looking to get into any kind of different engagements with different people. That's not really T's thing. Like, she's working on her artistry and trying to grow in that lane. But the thing about T is, it seems like, and I'm so glad that one of the gallery owners kind of pointed this out to her and was saying like a lot of her work is kind of missing her identity, where it seems a little bit like cold and stale. And I feel like so much of that is happening now in our world today when it comes to talent. Regardless, like all across the board, whatever you're doing, when it comes to any type of thing that you need creativity, when you need to like be yourself and bring that part of you which makes it different than everybody else. Because yeah, we get it, so many different people do quite the same thing. I mean, we're on a platform here that you are going to come across lots of people that do the same type of thing, right? But what sets the person apart is their personality, the different things that they bring to the table, whether it's their culture, their background, certain things about them that you just can't mimic, because we all gonna know what's up. We know who from who. We know everybody got their different flavor and their style and their uniqueness that God, made you to be. And not many people know how to step into that or feel comfortable or vulnerable enough to allow that to show forth in their creativity. And that's what's going on here with your homegirl T here, okay? She's doing the work. She really is. She knows how to create these different pottery things. And I'm saying it like this because I don't know about no pottery, child. I don't know, okay? I just know certain things. It look cute. It look good. And another eye who know about this stuff would probably be like, Lord, girl, probably going into detail, all the intricate things. And I'm like, I'd be looking like, okay, it just look cute, honey. It just look cute. And so that's how I look at T's work. But for a person who is into selling art, unique pieces and all of that stuff, they can tell when certain things are missing here. And I guess the thing with T that is missing is the thing that sets her apart from everyone else, like who she truly is. And I feel like so much throughout this film that she is trying to find who she is. And it kind of starts from her family, from her heritage. Like her mom is like Chinese and her dad is obviously American. She's Chinese American here. So she has a lot of bit of the American culture because she grew up here. Her mom wanted a better life for her and all these types of things and left certain things behind. But a lot of the Chinese culture, a lot of that side of her, which really does play a significant role in her life, she doesn't really know about. It was left behind. Like she doesn't even speak the language. Like her mom would talk to her at certain points in this film in Chinese, and you can tell that she kind of understands her mom, but you don't really see her speaking the language or anything like that. And so a lot of that culture, that side of her is missing, and she's little by little discovering that in this film. And I like it because for us who don't really know anything about certain kinds of culture, I found that it was very, very interesting. I love that, especially because we don't see a lot of that, not only like on Hallmark, but just in general when it comes to different films and television shows. Here we don't necessarily get a lot of diversity to the point where it's like that's significant. So it takes us by surprise, but we all love it all the same. But anyway, so that's what's going on with T, okay? She's trying to build this career, follow her dreams and all of that, which I can totally relate to, okay? But we do have Will now. And Will is a handyman, and he's trying to get his business started, like starting his own business. We can tell and hear that he's building his website. He's getting clients together, but at the same time, he's volunteering his time here at this learning center, which is like it's in jeopardy here. It's just about to close, like so many different. That kind of bothers me when we get certain centers like learning centers or different kind of nonprofit organizations that contribute greatly to the community, that offers a lot of free services for individuals and families, and sometimes for people who have certain disabilities or whatever, or who don't have certain opportunities, who don't have certain funds and all of that. And we have these types of nonprofit organizations in different communities that are needed, and a lot of them are facing closures and different things. And I totally felt like that was so relatable here and what's going on now in our culture and what the days that we're living in now, where so many different nonprofit organizations are like struggling to hang on, and they offer so much. They play such a significant role in these communities that a lot of us, don't have certain opportunities, and yet these places, so many people don't want them there for whatever reason. Of course, we ain't finna get into all of that, but okay, we know what's up. Y'all need to leave these places alone, okay? because they offer so much hope, and that's what people need, especially when kids are involved and they're coming up, and not everybody come from families that have a lot of funding, that have a lot of opportunities. So we need these places here that offers different cultures and different classes and skills and all these types of things. And so many of us grew up and weren't even aware of them, because now we living in a time that we have a lot of technology and you can easily go to your computer and find certain things. But for those of us who grew up in a culture that this was not everything, when we didn't have social media, nobody knew what that stuff was, and everything was kind of word of mouth, and you just had to, put foot to pavement, and that's how you found out about stuff. And that type of environment, those were harder, because even though certain services and different things exist, a lot of people didn't know about them who actually needed it, because you didn't have a place, you didn't have certain resources, or didn't even know how to get to certain resources. And so I really feel like my heart goes out to these kind of places. I feel for people who are fighting to keep these things open and all of that, like keep going. God be with you, okay? And that's what we have here with T. She's and Will, who steps into the whole thing as well and offering his gift and services to this learning center, because they know that it is needed, and the community needs this place. And the councilmen and all these people are trying to shut it down, I guess, because they don't see any kind of way that is really bringing in much funding. But yeah, so we have a lot of that going on throughout this film, that they're fighting to keep this place open, coming together, putting their gifts together. And it reminds me that God, your gifts make room for you, and a lot of us just needs to step into that. Use your gift, offer your gift, and you don't necessarily have to get paid for it, but just offering it to communities and organizations and people around you would definitely change their lives. You just never know what will come out of that. And we see this in this film, how these people pulled together for one another, and they were fighting this fight that just seems like it was hopeless, but yet they were hanging on, and they were in prayer, and they were just standing together, because they knew this was beyond them. They needed God here. And so we're going to get all of that here in this film, which reminds me that God always comes through, and he always has a plan, even though we don't necessarily understand it all the time. But all we have to do is just stand still, see the salvation of the Lord, because you can always be sure that he's going to come through for you. And of course, as always with any Hallmark movie, right, we got to have that sprinkle of romance, and seeing that spring has just officially started, even though maybe the weather where you are may not necessarily reflect it to the actual fullest. We still know that we are in spring technically now. And so what comes with spring? Flowers, sunshine, maybe even a little bit of rain. But it does get you in a wonderful mood, and you're just happy. Your heart is merry here. And that is what I get from this film. And that's exactly what I walked away from it with, y'all. Excited, full of hope and joy, and reminded me that even in the midst of darkness, there is still light, there is still sunshine, and there is still good people out there who are willing to stand with you. There are still like-minded people out there who love people, who love God, and who will pray with you. And so I was just excited and filled with joy with this film, and I cannot wait to see the whole Hallmark lineup with this spring, because so far they're starting off very, very well. I love that, okay? Once again, this film is titled 2 for T, streaming right now on Hallmark Plus. But before I leave y'all for today, let's go ahead and get into the scripture. And we are coming out of Proverbs 24, verse 10. And it reads, "If you faint in the day of adversity, your strength is small." So that's all I have for y'all for this video. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me. As always, please remember to leave y'all thoughts, your prayers, your overall take in the comment section below, because I do read them and I do enjoy hearing from you. And until next time, may the Lord bless and keep you both now and forevermore.